Hey guys, Hambo and Fred back here at the table, answering some questions from my friend Desert Prepper about his thoughts about getting a Cold Steel Bushman. Now, this is not the original sheath. I made one of my PVC sheaths for my Bushman because I didn't like the Cordura nylon that came with the knife originally, so I got rid of that. The Bushman, as you can tell, as you've heard, I know a lot of you own this. There are two styles. This is the original Bushman, and then there's the Bushman Bowie, which is about twice as wide and has a more pronounced Bowie blade shape. But they both share the same characteristics. They're both made out of very high quality SK5 carbon steel. Okay, they are powder coated, and they are amazingly strong because they are made out of one piece of metal. The handle, which is open, and if you're not wrapping it stupidly like I did, can be used to mount this on a pole or a stick to make a spear out of it, can lash it, you can do a number of different things, but it doesn't lose any of its rigidity as some knives do at the hilt, because number one, there is no hilt. It's just one solid full tang piece of SK5 steel that was rolled to make the handle. That makes it extraordinarily strong. Now, it's not a very thick knife. If you're going to be using this for survival work, it does have advantages because it is very lightweight. It's only 9.8 ounces. Now, mine's a little heavier on the bed end because I put this paracord wrap on there. But I did that also because I needed something more grippy on the knife. The knife itself, when you first get it, you may have a little trouble getting used to the fact that it's just a bare piece of steel. But once you start working with it, you realize the advantages of this knife. It holds an edge amazingly well. You can see this has been through a few situations. It's 3/32 of an inch wide. Now, that's not very wide at all, but the strength of this knife belies the fact that even narrow, you can baton with this knife and chop with it extraordinarily well, and it holds up. It just, to coin a corny old phrase, it takes a licking and keeps on kicking. A lot of people will swear to the abilities of their Bushman knife just on the fact that it is so simple. The blade is 7 inches overall, okay, and the overall length on it is just over a foot. Okay, now, do I recommend it? I'll tell you what, for the quality of this knife, for the price that it is, you can find them for under $20. You can't go wrong. The Bowie has all the advantage of this, plus the fact that it's a thicker blade, and it is a wider body to it. It is made out of the same SK5 carbon steel and shares all the strength and rigidity of the Bushman. So yeah, if you're looking for the most bang for your buck in this type of a knife, I'd be hard-pressed to find something better than the Bushman. Now, that's one option. Let's put that aside here. I also carry, or in one of my packs, the POCKET Bushman. Now, this was part of that family in the same tradition of using a minimalist amount of steel. The thing, though, is with this ram-safe lock, it's also one of the trickiest knives I own, and I've gotten cut on it a number of times. It has a good solid belt clip, maybe almost too solid, because sometimes you can't get anything into this. It's really, really thick. Again, this is 4116 Krupp steel on the blade. The handle is one piece of rolled stainless steel. Like I said, it's what they call the monoblock design. Let's go ahead and open it up. Now, I don't flick this. I open it up with two. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to open this up. I want you to watch the locking mechanism. The lock is not up here. It's down here. There's a push rod that locks in off the pivot pin. Watch the ram safe here as I open the blade up. You'll see it extend out and then snap into place. Now this blade is locked. And I can personally attest to the fact that what Cold Steel says is true. Once this blade is locked, for all practical purposes, this is a fixed blade knife. It's a folder with virtually all the rigidity of a fixed blade. It's extraordinarily strong. The knife has been designed so that the only two way this thing is going to fail is if the blade breaks, and with 41/16 Krupp that's going to take a hell of a whack, or the pivot pin shears. And again, made out of the same material. It's so simple. You'd have to be, I don't know, trying to cut your way into an aircraft carrier to do some damage like that. But this whole knife is designed to take the shock away from the blade strike so that it doesn't snap or shear the pin, and this thing stays locked, which also makes it very, very, I'm not going to say dangerous, but very tricky to close, because what has to happen is it's a two-hand process. You notice this lanyard on there. You have to have this lanyard because you have to pull this ram safe lock apart to be able to free up the blade. Now, I don't know with this blade angle if I can do it right, but you have to pull it out and then bend the blade down. Okay, so I've pulled it out to release the ram lock and actually gotten the blade started, and then it will fold. Okay, it's a little more difficult to close because it is designed that well to keep you as safe as possible. But again, this is not very expensive. This is under $30, and for a 4.5 inch blade with a 5 3/4 inch handle, which makes it, for all practical purposes, 10 inches when fully extended, it's the next best thing to carrying a fixed blade knife. I carry this in one of my day packs. It's got a holster that, it didn't come with a holster. I found a holster that'll fit it, and a sheath rather, and it's tied right into the outside of the bag, and very good with corrosion. Just keep it maintained, and I literally think this thing would last forever. I'd be really interested to see someone who was either good enough or stupid enough to break one of these things. I'm sure it's happened, but I would have no problem in batoning with this. I would have no problem in doing any of the duties that I do with a fixed blade knife with this Pocket Bushman. So there you have it. The two from Cold Steel. The Bushman, the Pocket Bushman, and there's a third one which I don't have yet called the Bowie Blade, which I think is the current version of the Bushman that's out. But there you go. If you've got a limited funding and you need a knife of this quality, these may be your best option yet. Alright? See you in a bit. Thanks.